العلم أشراف مطلوب وطالبه لله أكرام من يمشي على قدمه. العلم نور مبين يستضيء به أهل السعادات والجهال في الظلم.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين. أما بعد, welcome back to our first class after 2 or 3 weeks off. Today, who's got the checklist? Who remembers the checklist that I sent out some time ago? Excellent.
I did it.
Yeah, okay. You did what?
I did it.
Yeah. Hey, that bad. So this is what I sent out, and this is the curriculum for Manhaj Saalikeen, Kitab al-Fara'id, obviously. Fara'id, right? So everything that you've seen ticked off now, or that you see ticked off now, is what we've already studied. Okay? The next masala that we want to study, or that we're going to study today, is Nisab al-Akba', which is 8, and Ta'sil al-Masa'id, which is 9. So we're going to try finishing 8 and 9 today. If we get time, we're going to 9, but we will definitely try finishing 8 today, inshallah. And the importance of this, remember, give me a masala. Check that. Zawja. Okay. So Jadda is what? A sudus. And this masala? A quarter. Okay. This masala is going to be here, number 12. 12. Yeah, 12. Smash. Remember, I kept saying this number here, don't worry about it for now. We're going to understand. I kept saying, the number that goes here, we're going to understand it somewhere along the line. Okay? So now, we've learned who inherits. Okay? And we've learned what they inherit. And we've learnt the reasons why they inherit. Okay? So now, any mas'ala that you're given, any mas'ala, anyone that dies, you should be able to complete it. You should be able to complete this stage and this stage. Okay? Any mas'ala that you come to hear of, or whenever you're doing exercises, you should know what these people inherit. And who are they? Whether they're Ashab al-Furud or or the Asabat. You should know that. As for this one, what they inherit, you should already know that as well. Okay. So remember when we were saying the Zawj gets half, or the Bint gets half, and this person gets quarter, and this one gets 8 or 6. Now we want to know, the Nisab al-Akba' helps us to find out a ruba' of what? A quarter of what? Half of what? A sixth of what? Sudus of what? Okay? That's where this number comes into. And this mas'ala, this number, is called Aslul Mas'ala. What is it called? Aslul Mas'ala. The asl of the mas'ala. And the asl of this mas'ala, asl mas'ala, all it means is the name, is the main number that we're going to be working with. Asl mas'ala is what we want to distribute from. Okay, we know that the zawj is gets half. The jadda or the mother gets sudus. And the ukht or the ukhtani, 2 sisters, they get a thuluthan. Like we now want to know thuluthan of what? 2/3 of what? Half of what? So this is where the asl mas'ala comes into it. So we're going to, once we figure out this number, then we're going to say, for example, the jadda gets a sudus. What is a 6 of 12? 2. What is a quarter, a ruba' of 12? 3. See what we've just done there now? Yeah? We know exactly how many arrows or what shares they're going to get now. Okay? At the moment, I know this doesn't equal up. The reason why it doesn't equal up, you'll understand in another lesson, inshallah, which is called Agad, somewhere along the line. You'll understand why, or how to work it out. But now we know how many shares the Jadda is going to get. So you will find Siham It's literally arrows. Arrows means shares. Okay, siham. So the jadda is going to get 2. So we're going to split it into 12 and she's going to get 2 of those. We're going to split it into 12, she's going to get 3 of those. Okay? But this number is the one we're going to work around today, and that's the number that we want to know. How do we figure it out? How do we figure it out? So what's the number that we want to figure out today? What is it called? Aslul Mas'ala. Okay. Now, in order to know what the Aslul Mas'ala is, in order for us to know what the Aslul Mas'ala is, we need to go through something which is called An-Nisabul Arba'a. An-Nisabul Arba'a. Okay. And the Nisabul Arba'a are 4 relations or connections between, or the relationship between numbers. So remember, As-Sudus was one of the, well, let's go for half. And then we go for Sudus, a third, and 2/3, Thumun, Ruba', 6. طيب. This bottom number in Arabic is called the maqam. English called what? Dominant. Now, 8, 6, 3, 3, 6, 2. Okay? Now, whenever we get a mas'ala, we're going to get one of these numbers, right? We're going to be either working with. These are the furud that are mentioned in the Quran and the Sunnah. These are the furud that are mentioned in the Quran and the Sunnah. Right. So when we want to know if we get a sudus, a grandmother, and a zawja, last mas'ala was what? A sudus, the jadda, and the what? The zawja. She gets a rubu', sir? Okay. So we want to know what to put here. Sir? Okay. However, in order to know what to put here, we need to use something which is called An-Nisabul Arba'a. An-Nisabul Arba'a, which is the relationship between these numbers. The line, the ones in the red, in the red square, the maqam. So we're going to now take this number, and we're going to take that number. Yeah? We're going to take this bottom number and that bottom number, and we're going to work out the relationship between them. Whatever we understand is the relationship between them, depending on these 4 stages, is what we're going to put here. Is what we're going to put here. Like, have you guys read the handouts I sent out to them? Who's understood anything from it? What have you understood? It's what? They're different? Excellent. So there's ways of understanding and getting to know the Asl Mas'ala. The very first one was what? At-Tamathul. Next is third is at-Tawafuq. Third is what? These 4 relationships or the connections are called at-Tamathul, at-Tadakhul, at-Tawafuq, and at-Tabayyun. Okay? These maqam, which we've called the maqam, the connection between them is always going to be one of these. it's either going to be tamathul, we're going to see what tamathul is. Or tadakhul, or tawafuq, or tabayun. It's always going to be one of these four. Fine. Okay. Let's start with a tamathul. Let's start with a tamathul. Someone read it out. read it out. تماثل.
تماثل يساوي العددين في المقادر.
يساوي العددين كون
في المقادر مثل 4 و4.
في المقام يا
في المقادر.
في المقادر. That's it, ها؟
في المقدار نعم.
في المقدار. زي
نعم.
تساوي بين العددين في المقدار.
It has an example like 4, 4, 6.
Okay. The examples that it has is what?
4
أربعة and أربعة.
ستة.
ستة and ستة and اثنين. اثنين. 2 2. 8. طيب. 3. Okay. This means, this tamathul, it means when you get two numbers and they're the same. Okay? By the way, there's two things that we want to know. We want to know what tamathul is, and we want to know what to do. There should be that question on each one. For each one, you should have what it is, its definition, and the second question is what? How to calculate and work out the asl mas'ala, or the main number that we're going to be working with. Right? So this is what tamathul is first and foremost. It's when you see two numbers, two maqams, and they're exactly the same. And they are exactly the same. For example, yeah, denominator. So we're going to use maqam. مثلا زوج أخت شقيقة. What is this? What does the زوج get here? He gets in this. What does the أخت get here? Nis. She gets nis. Okay. What is the relationship between 2 and 2? Which one is bigger, 2 or 2? There's no bigger, there's no smaller. They are exactly the what? Exactly the same. That's what tamathul means basically. Tamathul is when the two denominators are exactly the same. The maqam, each maqam is exactly the same. Here we have a possible 6 denominators or maqams. Here we just so happen to have in this mas'ala of ours a 2 and a 2. What is the relationship between 2 and 2? They're exactly the same. What is the Arabic terminology in fara'id? At-tamathul. What is the relationship? At-tamathul. Okay. So now you've understood what tamathul is, right? The next question that you say is, okay, so what? Now that we know it's tamathul, what then? Then I say the answer is, how do we work out the asl mas'ala? Don't forget today, we're not talking about what the jadda inherits, or what the zawj, or what fulan, the ashab al-furud, or thuluth, or sudus, or asaba. That's none of our business today. Ignore. Today we just want to know this number here, what do we put here, so that we can work around it. Because if we figure that out, everything else is easy. And this is one of the most important parts of fara'id. So one of the most important parts is knowing who inherits and what they inherit. Secondly, knowing how to set the mas'ala. Taqsilul mas'ala, that's what it's called. That's why I said taqsilul mas'ala. Okay. So what is the second question that you need to ask?
What's the same?
What do we do? What we do is what? What does it say written on your, on the second, on the bottom? Huh? What do we do? Suffice with one of the two numbers. Okay. Now we have ithnain. And we have ithnain. What do we do? Take one. That's it. And we put it here. And we make it the aslul mas'ala. Why do we make it the aslul mas'ala?
There's no difference.
Because there's no difference. They're exactly the same. You can't say to me, I'm going to take the denominator of the zod. So okay, take the denominator of the zod. It's the same. Or you can't say, I'm going to take the maqam of the ukht shaqiqa. Why? Because they're the what? They're the exact same. They are the exact same. Okay, let's take another example. Let's take another example. Let's say there's a sudus, there's a jadda, akh li The jadda gets a sudus. This person gets a sudus, huh? You agree with me so far? Wait. What is the relationship between sudus, a 6, or 6, and 6? The relationship is tamathul. That's the first question you've answered. Right, so what should we do here if we want to find out the aslul? When we want to find out the aslul mas'ala, what do we do here? How do we know what the aslul mas'ala is? Do we take the jadda's one or the um's one? It doesn't matter why. It's exactly the same. So we put 6 here. We put 6 here. Okay? We put the 6 there. Why did we put the 6 there? Because the 6 is what? It's tamathul, it's exactly the same. And then what do? We just say, what's 1/6? What was the jadda entitled to? A 6. What is a 6 of 6? 1. What is a 6 of 6? 1. Khalas. So if you, this is literally, we've done that. A person dies, his grandmother is there and his brother from his mother's side is there. That's it, we give him 1/1. 1 share, 1 share. After splitting the what? After finding out what the asl masala is. Okay? So here, don't worry too much about this. You don't need to worry because you can all do the calculations anyway. As long as you can see, it doesn't really matter, you know what the answer is. Like in now, what we're working towards finding out that number. And what is that number called? Aslul masala. Okay. Right. Let's forget that for a minute. Right? Let's forget that. If we had an 8 and an 8 here, not possible, but what do we put here? 8. Okay? For argument's sake, let's say we had a thuluth here, or thuluthan, and a thuluth. What is the asl mas'ala? Huh? What is the relationship between 3 and 3?
Same.
Same and tamathul. What do we do? Tariqat al-amal?
You choose one of it.
Just choose one. 3. Khalas. That is tamathul. Okay. They get easy. They're all easy anyway. It's just one of them that requires attention. Lucky is that understood. Any questions on tamathul? Go on.
Would they not work on like a quarter, for example, because the conditions?
Yeah,
So
you
like
won't get.
Zolja and Zod, for example.
Well, you won't get quarters. It just doesn't come out. Like quarter and quarter. Let's say the Zoja gets a quarter when there's no chance, huh?
Zod gets
And let's say the Zoj. Is that possible?
No.
Someone dies and they leave behind the husband and the wife. Not possible, it doesn't come out. Thumun. How many people are entitled to thumun? One, so we can't get thumun. It's not possible. I just said it for argument, just so you can understand what to do.
So it's mainly sudus.
Not mainly, huh?
Mainly sudus.
Don't look at it like that. Just look at whenever we get two numbers that are the same, we work with what? The number that's there. We work with the number that's there. Later on, ask me, what if we get more than 3? Hold that for now. Let's try to figure out 2 first. Okay, so there's 2 numbers now. Tamathal, any questions on it? Pretty straightforward, huh? Like, it's straightforward, like, it's really important to understand. Okay? So it's easy, inshallah. Allahumma la sahla illa ma ja'altahu sahla. Once you understand this, you crack the code, that's it. Everything else that comes after that, give or take. Even if we don't study, we will study. But even if you don't, you can still understand for that. Right. What is the next connection? The next thing is what? التداخل. طيب التداخل read it out طلع
أن ينقسم أكبر العددين
أن ينقسم أكبر العددين
على أصغرهما بلا كسر
طيب
بلا
It
gives أمثلة.
طيب what is the أمثلة?
3 and 8. No, 4 and 8.
3 and 8. Huh?
4 and 8.
4 and 8.
3 and 6.
3 and 6.
And 4 and 2.
Okay. The next relationship or the next connection is something which is called tadakhul. Okay, tadakhul. Just so you understand, if there's a door there, if there's a masjid there, and I go into the masjid, what do you say in Arabic? Dakhala al-masjid. Dakhala al-masjid, صح? What am I covered by? Now that I go into the masjid, I'm in the masjid. When you look at the masjid from a distance, can you see me? Unless it's a see-through masjid. No, you can't. So I've gone into the masjid, which means I am now part of the masjid. At-tadakhul simply means that you have a number, 2 numbers. You've got 2 numbers. One of these numbers can go into the other number, literally equally, without there being anything left over. Without there being anything left over. That's why the examples that you have is 4 and 8. Like, divide 8 into 4. 4. Okay. Also, 8, if you wanted to divide it into 2, what do you get? 4. 4, if you wanted to times it by 2, what do you get? 8. So this 4 can go into this 8, can't it? That is called tadakhul. دخل الصغير على الكبير. دخل الصغير, the smaller number, went into على الكبير. Is that understood? 3 and 6. What is the connection between them?
Half of 6.
3 is half of what? 6. Can 3 go into 6 without having anything left over? Yeah. Twice. You do it twice, huh? Khalas. So between them is what? Tadakhul. 3 dakhala al-asghar, which is 3, ala al-akbar, which is 6. The smaller number goes into the bigger number. Is that understood? 4 and 2. What is the relationship between them? Tadakhul. Because 2 is the smaller number and it can go into what? 4. And there won't be anything left over. That is tadakhul. Okay, let's go for مثلا 5 and 2. Can 2 go into 5?
No.
How many 2's are there in 5?
2.
2. But you'll get what?
1.
1 remainder. That's not what we want now. That is not tadakhul. So the relation between 2 and 5 is not tadakhul. Okay? It's something else that we're going to see. لكن التداخل in summary means أن ينقسم الأكبر, that the big one goes into or is divided by على الأصغر على أصغرهما, divided by the smaller number بلا كسر, without having anything remaining. And I gave an example of 8 and 4. 4 can go into 8 and you won't have anything left over. 3 goes into 6 without having anything left over. 2 goes into 4 without having anything left over. Have you understood tadakhul? Who can repeat tadakhul for me?
So when the smaller number goes into the bigger number, so without a remainder.
Without a remainder. The smaller number goes into the bigger number without a remainder. صح؟ طيب. طيب. The smaller number goes into the bigger number without anything remaining. That is the first question that we've answered. What was the first question? What is tadakhul? What is the second question? طريقة العمل. What should we do? What should we do if we get two numbers that can go into one another? Let's draw our table again. What is that box? What is this box for? مسألة. طيب. Let's say أخت شقيقة and زوجة. What does the أخت شقيقة get here? What does the zawja get here? Ruba. What is the relationship between 2 and 4? How many maqams do we have here?
2.
How many dominances? 4 and 2. What is the relationship between 4 and 2? Hold on, first and foremost, go back to tamathul. Ask yourselves a quick question. Just to know if there's any tamathul.
No.
Is 4 and 2, are they the same black? So they're not the same. So they must be tadakhul. Okay, we've studied tadakhul. Yes, 2 can go into 4. Tariqatul amal, what should we do? Now that we know that the relationship between them is tadakhul, what should we do? For tadakhul, what does it say on your book? You take the what on the notes?
Bigger number.
You take the bigger number. Which is bigger, 4 or 2?
4.
You sure? 4 is definitely bigger than 2, صح? خلاص. خلاص. You make that the asl mas'ala. Then you work around that. All day we're going to be pivoting around this number. How to get it. Right? So we're going to be working around that number. The asl mas'ala here is what? How do you know it's 4?
Because the largest of the 2 bigger number.
Because bayna maqamain tadakhul. Because between the two maqams there's tadakhul. And what do we do with tadakhul? We use the larger number. So then we go khalas. What is half of 2? What was the sister entitled to?
2 portions.
Half. She was entitled to half. What is half of 4?
2.
That's 2. What is 1? What is a rubu' of 4? 1. Khalas, you've done it now. So, as for why is this 3 and why is that 4, that's something else. We're going to know. We're going to see each other. Later. Sudus and 6. I don't get Sudus and 6. Like, we get 2 akh li We get 2 of them. 2 of them. And we get 1 jadda. طيب. What is the what did the two إخوة الأم get here? What did I get? You forgot, huh? Third. إن كان أكثر من ذلك فهم شركاء. طيب الثird صح؟ The جدة what did she get? خلاص the جدة you don't need to look at nothing. Just is there there? If there's there خلاص don't give her anything. If there isn't there, always give her a sudus. طيب give her sudus. Let's delete the original or the last asl. Here we have two numbers. We have 3 and we have 6. What is the relationship between 6 and 3? Tadakhul. Excellent. So why is it tadakhul? Because 3 goes into 6. Right. Without anything being left over. Right. Now that you know it's tadakhul, what should we do? You, at the moment, should already know what the asl masala is, just by looking at the two numbers here. Now that you know the nisab al-arba'a, tadakhul, you should know what is the asl masala here. What is the asl masala? 6. Excellent. Why is it 6 then?
It's the larger two.
It's the bigger number. It is the bigger number. Okay. Right. Let's say we've got a thumun and a rubu'. That's not possible. Why is it not possible? The only two people that get a rubu' are who? The zawj and the zawj. So for the zawj to inherit, it means the zawja has to die. Or for the zawja to inherit, it means the what? One of them has to die. So we can't get this. It's impossible to have this masala. طيب. لكن just using the maqam, what is the relationship between them? Tadakhul, صح? Because there's tadakhul between them. If this was the case, it's not. If it was the masala, what would the asl masala be? 8. And why would it be 8?
The larger
The larger number. It is the larger number. So that is, in summary, what tadakhul means. Tadakhul is two numbers having two numbers. One of them can go into the other one in totality without having anything left over. So for tadakhul, what is tariqatul amal? The second question you've got to ask yourself, or for every one of these, you need to know what it means, and you need to know what the tariqatul amal is, what to do, how to work out asl mas'ala. So for the tadakhul, now that you know what tadakhul is, the next question is, how do you work out? If you've got two numbers that the connection is tadakhul between them, what do you do?
The higher number.
You take the bigger number. You take the bigger number. Okay? Just in case someone forgets. 2 more numbers. Okay. Take the bigger number. What is the next? Tawaful. Pay attention. This one's a bit of a hassle to explain and to understand. That can show that please. Like